Yo, what's up, everyone? This is the voice of YouTube's very own Shalldash here, coming at you with my newest discussion video. And today I have a special guest,
Hello.
which you might as well just.
Surprise.
Yes, Z Foxy Waifu is here. And totally forgot to check the audio levels. Okay, should be good. Alright then. Um, Without further ado, you guys can see by this background of what we're going to be talking about. Volume 7 wrapped up last Saturday. And I figure since I'm pretty sure that everyone that doesn't have Rooster Teeth's membership has most likely saw the latest volume, I figured now would be a good time to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
So since I feel like our trailer discussion was a little bit because of the fact that we were tired. I felt
lackluster.
yeah, it was very lackluster to us. I would explain how I got into RWBY, and then my lovely girlfriend here can discuss how she got into RWBY. Me, it was pretty boring of how I got into it. It's not as cool as like someone that just probably saw the first 4 trailers, and then when Volume 1 dropped, they obviously liked what they saw and they watched it. But I got into it mostly because I liked how the characters looked. Especially Yane and Neo. So it was, well, for lack of a better word, it was because the show had extremely hot girls that could kick ass, is what made me decide to want to check it out. So my best friend owns volumes 1 to 5 on Blu-ray, and we watched the first shows on volume 1, and I was hooked ever since. And then when I was sick, I decided to binge watch volume 2 to 6. And it was kind of unfortunate when I got into it because I got so attached to Crow's former voice actor, Vic M, that it's unfortunate that when I got into RWBY, that's when the whole Twitter, pretty much in my opinion, it's like, I don't really want to discuss my opinions on the whole Vic stuff, but I'm pretty sure you all know my opinions on it. I don't have to say it.
Yee.
Anyways, how did you get into RWBY?
Well, I'm gonna be honest here. I watched one of Monty's previous things he worked on, which was Red versus Blue. Very serious, by the way. And then they dropped the trailers on their YouTube channel. I watched the trailers and I was like, okay, this is something I could get behind for a web series. And pretty much ever since then, I've been a RWBY.
It's probably because of the fact that you're my adorable weeb girlfriend.
Yes, I am.
I mean, to be fair, I can be considered as a weeb, but um, yeah, my girlfriend is a OG fan.
Yep.
Um, so pretty much, like I love the series. However, the fan base, on the other hand, I'll get more into that because I'll probably be starting off with something that I think I would rather get done and over with so that we can have fun in the rest of this video.
Yee.
Um, Volume 7 to me has been the best volume since Volume 3.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that.
the previous volume started off good, but you can tell like there was a decline in quality. Like the final act was extremely rushed to me, and I'm guessing there was actually supposed to be a bigger fight that was actually supposed to happen than the Leviathan.
Really?
Yeah, supposedly. I could be wrong on that, but everybody like what I noticed with Volume 6, it seems like a lot of people loved it. And I'm sitting here like, I feel like the only reason, like, it was a pretty good volume. It's just, I would have to say I preferred Volume 5, which is a very controversial opinion because amongst the RWBY fan base, people consider Volume 5 the worst volume ever made.
That is very true. People do consider it that.
But it goes to show you, everyone has a different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I felt everything about the last act of Volume 6 was rushed, including and I can already hear all the complaining on Twitter now with me saying this, but
I think I know what you're gonna talk about.
the Bumblebee. I'm gonna say it without. I'm gonna say it without saying the whole thing. Pretty much, Bumblebee versus Adam.
Yeah.
And a lot of my problems about Volume 6 seems to be was fixed in Volume 7. They did. I got it.
Really good
yeah.
Volume 7.
They made other characters act like how I personally prefer them to act. I did not like seeing all of them so moody in Volume 6. That bothered me because they seemed really out of character, including Yane.
Oh yeah, Yang seemed really out of character.
I understand that they found out about, something that they didn't want to find out about. However, they say that laughter is the best medicine, and Yane has always been the comic relief of Team RWBY.
Yes, with all the puns.
Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that Yane, even though that she was so serious, she still reminded me of how she was in Volume 1, 2, and 3. It's like pretty much they just combined both of her personalities, and it was so great hearing Yane laugh.
Yes, it really was.
And there were so many great moments in this volume, like Weiss getting payback on her father thanks to her mother.
Penny being alive again.
Penny being alive, which we pretty much predicted how she would look if she came back alive.
Yeah, same thing with Weiss's mom's name, too.
Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed 3 out of the 4 outfit changes of Team RWBY. However, I think Blake's hair looked better in the concept art than it did in the actual animation.
Oh yeah.
However, her freaking actual outfit I approve of. I'm not gonna say why because I want to keep this PG-13.
I know why though.
I like how Ruby looks. She reminds me of she quite literally reminds me of a punk rocker. Like, no joke, with how her hair is and everything.
Yeah. And the fingerless gloves.
Mm-hmm. And to me, Ruby's look looks better in the show than it does on the concept art.
That is very true.
Because on the concept art, we all thought, like, she got short hair. She doesn't.
Mm-mm.
And then
her hair just got a bit longer.
Mm-hmm. And then Weiss's hair got longer, and I love her outfit. Yane... either needs to go back to her Volume 4, 5, and 6 outfit in Volume 8, or bring back the Volume 2 outfit.
Yeah, they only wore that for one episode?
I believe so. And
Yeah,
that...
let's see Yang in that right now.
John's look was... I'm pretty sure that we said this in our trailer opinions, but John's hair is...
Why'd you have to make him look like Arden?
Why did you have to make him look like GT Goten?
That too.
Again, I like GT. I like Dragon Ball GT. It's just... Goten's hair was... No.
No.
And, Tyrion. Here's the thing about Tyrion. I have a love-hate thing with him because I think he's a really great villain.
Also, at the same time, he's a psychopath.
Yeah, but at the same time, you hate him. You want to hate him because he does a lot of bad stuff. Like, he poisoned Crow.
And set up Penny.
He set up Penny, which, again, like I said, this volume gives me strong Volume 3 vibes. That reminds me of when Emerald and Mercury set up Yang.
Yep.
And, no joke, when I realized that this volume had strong Volume 3 vibes, once I kind of once I really started to compare the two volumes,
a lot of things in common.
I actually thought that because of Winter possibly becoming the Winter Maiden, I thought she was going to die.
Yeah, I don't think you're the only one that thought that.
However, Winter with her hair down. I want to see that more.
10 out of 10 from
Yeah, yeah, because if you all know my taste when it comes to women's hair, you all would understand.
Yep.
And so pretty much the first... Also, on the flip side too, I enjoyed all the tension moments as well.
Oh, yeah.
However, I want to talk about two things for sure in more depth. But, what I'm kind of shocked about was that we didn't see more of Cinder and Neo. However, I kind of had a feeling that they were already on Atlas.
Turns out you were right.
As it turns out, Neo has always been in plain sight. There was this one black-haired worker at the Smee Mansion, and you first see her when Weiss is going to her father's office, and turns out
it was Neo all along.
That was Neo the whole time. So Neo has been hiding in plain view. Cinder has actually been the one hiding in the shadows. Neo, however, used her semblance to become a Smee worker. A Schnee worker.
Neo be a smart cookie.
She is smart. I wouldn't be surprised if half of the missions that Roman goes on is only successful because of her.
I wouldn't doubt that either. She is a very smart cookie.
She is. She's also adorable too.
Find it funny you was calling her that during the whole when the rest of the team, Juniper and Oscar, or Alpine, as some people call that team.
Shout out to Phoenix / Knight.
Yeah.
Fantastic Ruby tuber.
Yep. yeah, you was called her that while they was fighting her in the final episode.
Here's the thing, okay? I would have been perfectly okay if Neo killed one of them, and I still would have liked Neo.
She did a dirty move on Rin, though.
She did a dirty move, but I don't care. I like Neo.
I know you do. I also like Neo, but at the same time with that, I'm like, Neo, no.
That was, but on a serious note, that was pretty dirty of her to morph into Nora and then yeah.
Yeah. You guys have seen the episode, you know what we're talking about.
And now, because I don't want to make this video long.
Okay.
Let's talk about the last 3 episodes.
Ooh.
Episode 11. We got to see Crow. Oh yeah, I really like Robin as a character.
Oh yeah.
And I definitely liked the one Sheep Faunus.
Fiona?
Yeah. She's adorable.
She's indeed adorable.
Now, in terms of episode 11, that was the episode with... Yeah, that was the episode where Weiss pretty much confronts Jocks and shows them that... Yeah, and shows them that Arthur Watts and Jocks had a deal, and that's why the election was hacked, so that he could win. And I find that very coincidental, and I don't want to, bring up politics in this video, real-life politics, because I hate it.
Oh, yeah. I know you do.
That reminds me of the whole... when, you had people on the left making accusations that the Russians were involved with the election, and that's why Trump won. Mm-hmm. Which I... Rooster Teeth. I don't care that you probably most likely are on the left. I don't care about politics in my stuff. If it's actual fictional politics, yes. But that one was a little bit too
coincidental.
Yeah. And I hope that it was just that. If it was inspired by a certain president and a certain accusation that was rivaled against him, yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't need that.
People want to escape when they watch your stuff. They don't want to deal with actual real life problems in the shows.
No.
However, I enjoyed seeing Crow, Robin, and Clover versus Tyrion. I love how, you had them trying to figure out who would fight first, and
Carl was just like, you two are going to have to stay in line.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here it should be Crow.
Yeah, it should be Crow because he legit poisoned Crow.
And then, of course, we had, when they finally revealed that, and then, of course, we see Watts in the arena. And then Ironwood walks in, and they both are getting ready to fight. And then,
good fight, by the way.
Yeah, really good fight. And it was pretty ballsy of a move for Ironwood to quite literally burn his hand out of that ray shield thing that Watts used.
What's it? Yeah.
That must have hurt. That must have hurt as a
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And pretty much, it seems like to me, by how certain villains have, Tyrion probably only joined Salem because he's a freaking psychopath and he destroys chaos.
Oh yeah.
Watts and Cinder seems to only join Salem because something in Remnant made them angry. Because Watts is yelling at Ironwood about how he could choose that.
Yeah, Watts was pretty much mad because he chose
Pedro.
Pedro over him when it came to the project they was doing to create a robot like Penny.
Mm-hmm. And Cinder yells at Winter that you Atlas soldiers are all the same.
Which kind of gives a hint. Cinder may have had issues with Atlas soldiers in the past.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, why are they going after Ozpin then if it seems like most of them have a problem with Atlas?
Exactly.
Because of Salem? Because of her grudge against Salem? So like it's one of those things to where like, if they help her, then she will help them with their revenge? Because that's what it seems like. The only one besides Salem that actually hates Ozpin is Hazel.
Yeah, because apparently Ozpin caused his sister to die or something.
Yeah, something like that. And before that sister turns out to be Summer.
That would be funny.
That would be.
Also at the same time, be like, wait, what?
I mean, like, I highly doubt it, but now episode 12 is quite literally when the shit hits the fan.
Yep.
After Ironwood fights Watts, and as it turns out, he did put him in a jail cell. Which I'm...
I thought he killed him.
Yeah, same. He walks in and he sees the sign of... He sees a chess piece of the Queen, and it's black glass, which symbolized that Salem was coming, and she has... That Salem
People
was...
in there.
Yeah. And then he drops the bag shocked, and a seer, I finally remember the Grimm's name.
Oh, okay, that's what it's called.
Rises up and then dies and breaks, and a black smoke forms, revealing Salem. And Salem tries...
A lot of things happen there.
And then Salem makes a deal with Ironwood, and then the Aesop's team, Ruby, walks in. And because of... Well, and then Ruby says something that was similar to Summer, what Summer said to Salem once before, and Salem is like, your mother, like, your mother told me those exact words once, or something,
Yeah, it was like that. Like, your mother said those exact words to me one time.
And then it made Ruby's eyes flash silver a few times as she see an image of Summer looking sad, and she turns her back towards the audience. And the one thing that bothered me about Volume 6 was when they all had to get out of the house with the apathy, and Yang chose to grab Blake's hand instead of
Ruby's.
Yeah. Which is honestly...
She just both of them.
Yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, wasn't the reason why Yang didn't do that was because Ruby and Weiss took care of Crow? Didn't they carry Crow out?
I think that is why, because Ruby and Weiss had to drag Crow out once Weiss said that the way they got out on fire with her.
Okay, well, as someone that cares about family, I would have rather, if I was Yang, I would have took charge in that moment. I probably would have had Weiss hold off on the flames so that she could get Ruby, Blake, and her uncle out. And then Yang could, scream now, and then Weiss catches her fire. dust.
Yeah,
And
they could have done that. But they did.
no, they didn't. And it was cool to see Yane comforted her sister. Of course, she was also crying, which means I'm wondering if all of Team Ruby saw that. I'm wondering because Yane,
I'm wondering that as well.
because Yane immediately went to her sister's side, which broke my heart seeing them so sad.
I know.
However, another moment I really enjoyed was seeing Team Ruby all like leaning on one another.
Mm-hmm.
That was really
That
cute.
was a nice, sweet moment.
And then Ironwood decides to declare martial law. We knew that he was going to declare it. However, we didn't know what was his plan alongside it. And
No, I did not know that.
and he decides to pretty much leave Mantle to a slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were going to lift Atlas up because, unfortunately, Oscar told Ironwood that Salem can't be killed. And that did not help his fear and paranoia. And Ironwood says no more secrets. However, what really probably set Ironwood off the most was when Blake and Yane told Robin about Amity Arena.
Mm-hmm. That set him off big time.
Mm-hmm. And then he decides that Team Ruby, Team Alpine, and Crow is going to be arrested. They were wanted for their arrest. And Ruby hurries up and tells everyone, as someone knows about the episode, when Ruby is like getting ready to do it, you see Ironwood kind of have his hand to his gun.
Oh, yeah.
And then he tells everyone, he tells Crow, she contacts Crow and Team Alpine. What's going on? And then Ironwood cuts.
That's the communication.
Yeah, and then when that happens, you see Crow and Robin look up at Clover. They're glaring, and you see Clover go from like a shot look to more like a robotic soldier look, as in I gotta do my duty. So, and then in the room, one of my favorite moments was when like Ruby's like, "We're not gonna go down
without a fight."
And then Ironwood replies with, "I know." And then in episode 12, we got the Aesop's versus Team Ruby. And then,
which was a fun fight to watch.
The fight was awesome. All I'm going to say is Team Ruby kicked the Aesop's butt.
Booty.
And then the Crow, Tyrion, and Crow, Tyrion, Clover, and Robin thing. Robin is pissed, and rightfully so. And she starts fighting, and then Crow, being the rational one, says, "Let's try and calm down." And then he decides to pretty much, you know what, screw it. And then he joins in the fight. However, Clover's fishhook rips off the part of Tyrion's handcuffs that's attached to the seat.
Yep.
And then he kills the captain, and I loved how they had Tyrion with the yeah, that was so perfect. That was so perfect. Oh, that was funny. And then he brings the ship down to crash, and Clover is the only one that was smart enough to be like, "Well, I better get off here." But again, he has good luck on his side. You had Crow, who has a bad luck semblance, so luck wasn't on his side.
No, sadly, poor Crow.
and the ship crashes. Crow walks out of the crash ship, and he goes check on Robin, and she's passed out, badly injured but passed out. And Clover says that we need to get her to Atlas because she's seriously injured. If you just surrender yourself. And then Crow replies with, I didn't take you for the manipulative type. And then from here on out, I'm going to pretty much, those two start fighting. Tyrion comes in, and Crow makes the stupidest decision to team up with Tyrion.
Yep. But it's also something we weren't expecting to see.
And then what happens is Clover pretty much makes Crow start flying, which in anime, if you see a freaking weapon being focused on, that
something gonna happen.
Yeah, either good or bad.
Yep.
Now, I'm gonna pause here, and I'm gonna say my opinions on the Aesops. I knew from the third episode from when they... It's either the second or third episode. I can't remember which one it was, when they state like how like they don't consider each other as friends.
I think it was the second episode, because that's when I think Team Ruby went out on that mission with them to the old Schnee Dust mines.
Okay. Thank you.
I think it was.
And I think that was episode 3. I think episode 2 was a continuation from episode 1 when they got captured, I think. I can't remember. Like,
it's in one of the early episodes.
Yeah.
That's all we know.
Again, I don't do reviews. I just say I just press the record and I go. And that's why I call these type of videos just me saying my opinions about something.
Yep.
When they said that line, it raised red flags up to me. However, I do believe that they were trying to tell us that something is going to happen between the Aesops and Team Ruby, with them arresting Team Ruby in the first episode. Ruby loves to use symbolism. They love to show something, and then something similar happens in the later episode.
That is very true.
The Aesops, to me, are the opposites of Team Ruby plus Crow. They all have different personalities to them. Crow, Clover is confident and he has good luck. Crow is pretty hard on himself and he has bad luck. They gave us signs that made people, including me, believe that something was going to happen to one of the Aesops.
Mm-hmm.
At first, everybody thought that, well, they were going to betray them and join Salem's group, or they would have betrayed Ironwood. And, of course, people only said this when it was revealed that Team Ruby and the Aesops were going to fight. That they could... that Marrow and Clover looked pretty conflicted about it. Of course, I knew, I'm pretty sure that Marrow probably would have not fought them. Marrow was the only one that didn't want to, and Clover didn't as well, but Clover trusts Ironwood with his life. He said that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that he did.
So that means he will accept any order Ironwood gives him, even if he probably disagrees with it. And forgot what I was going to say.
You was talking about the symbolism between the Aesop's and Team Ruby.
Okay. However, there was one thing that people didn't want to say because there's a lot of people in the fan base that likes Marrow and they like Clover. They did not want to mention a certain D word. Death.
Yep.
I predicted that Tyrion was going to kill Clover. And in episode 12, the episode before the volume finale, we see Clover and Crow talking. And then you see Crow's sword go straight through Clover's chest. And Tyrion is the one holding it.
Yep, didn't expect Clover to die that way, but oh boy.
I knew that he was going to die from Tyrion. However, I was more shocked by how he was killed.
Yeah, same here.
This created a little bit of a divide in the community in terms of Clover's death.
Mm-hmm.
More so about how Crow teamed up with Tyrion. That's the one thing that people did not like about this episode. However, there is a small minority of people that despise the fact that they killed off Clover when it's mostly the Crow and Clover shippers that were really upset.
Distraught.
Yeah. They were truly distraught and they were angry. They sent death threats to Ruby. And the one thing I've noticed about the Ruby community, which I'm starting to see that this is actually the true problem with it, it's not just one group or this group that's the problem, it's everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And to Bumblebee shippers, the reason why you guys always get targeted in terms of like you guys are the truly toxic ones is because you guys do have some really toxic people in your ranks.
This is very true.
I've seen them. They have commented. One of them has commented on my video on one of my videos that is no longer deleted. They do exist.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you guys want to keep ignoring the fact or actually change something, but keep in mind, they also got extremely outraged over fan art with a caption that said Bumble, well, just replace B with a certain swear word.
Yep. The other B word.
Pretty much about that controversy is, get over it. It's just a word.
Yeah, really, that, and it's also just, it's fan art.
Well, here's the thing. I'm seeing miscommunication here. People are saying it's a caption, but I've seen people get angry about the fan art.
People, make up your mind.
This is all I gotta say. Grow some thicker skin. And learn to accept other people's opinions, even if they are even if they are to not your liking. That's the problem with this. That's another problem with this fan base. We don't accept other people's opinions. If they find out that you like Adam, well then you must hate women. You must be this toxic person.
When you're clearly not.
No, and chances are they probably like Cinder. They probably like Salem. But yeah, if they don't like Adam because of what he did, Adam didn't kill Blake or Yane. Cinder killed Pyrrha.
Mm-hmm. Adam just wounded.
I guess in a way, everyone is a little bit of a hypocrite in this fandom.
Yeah, in a way.
Pretty much, the one thing that needs to change in this fandom is that we gotta stop pointing fingers. Everyone has contributed to a little bit of toxicity, and I've done so in this video by pretty much parroting some of what the Wasps, and probably some more of the toxic bees, have said about Adam fans.
Yee.
And I've even made a really bad joke about Clover, about how I ship Crow's sword X Clover.
Yeah, you. Yeah, he has.
And all I gotta say to that is, they're just fictional characters. If you guys are gonna get so outraged over fictional characters, go outside, take a walk, realize that there's more important things in this world than a.
Clear your head.
Yeah. Get off Twitter, trust me. Being on Twitter, it would probably make me go crazy too.
Oh yeah, if you go on Twitter all the time. Yeah.
But with that said, Clover dies. And we don't know how he says good luck to Crow. People are trying to figure out if he said it in more of a mocking way. Because he said it after, like Ironwood's going to pay for this.
Oh yeah, he did say that after that.
And then the finale.
So many things. What happened?
Penny becomes the Winter Maiden. Cinder now has the Relic of Knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Salem has shown up in Atlas.
Which means all heck's gonna break loose in Volume 8.
Crow is sad.
Robin tries comforting them while they're on their way to jail.
I ship it, by the way.
I mean, you're probably not the only one. I think it would be a cute ship.
The finale was really good. I enjoyed it.
That was.
Like I said, I enjoyed this volume. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
I am looking forward to Volume 8. However, I am glad that this volume's done because now I can watch some other things I've been meaning to watch.
Yee.
Because we have Star Wars The Clone Wars coming back very soon. I believe in either next week or the week after that.
Wait, is this month?
Yeah, it's this month.
I need to catch up on the first 6 seasons.
And I do plan on actually watching My Hero Academia. Because of PlayStation, I got the first season free. I mean, it's sadly dubbed.
Same.
It's sadly dubbed, but because, well, I'm not gonna mention about the whole Vic stuff. However, yeah, the Ruby stuff is not done. You know, we still have the DC comics. We still have the actual books. So we're still getting Ruby content. It's just, like I said, you know, many times, is that the show is the main canon. Everything else is just
An
cherries
expansion.
on top of the sundae.
Yee.
However, they, of course, they've said this right now. They're canon until they're not. If they decide
Wow.
to go back to these moments, to that the comics or the book has done. So it's kind of like with Star Wars, to where the first 6 movies is what truly matters. All the other stuff is just cherries on top of the sundae, and I'm including the sequel trilogy in that. I don't consider that truly a part of the main story. I think, you know, the characters, but I feel like the Skywalker saga ends with episode 6. But yeah, that's it for our thoughts and opinions. I hope this turned out good. I'm sorry if it seemed rushed or what have you, but there's like certain...
I think it went fine.
Yeah. Also, to any Ruby fans that decide to start stuff with me in the comments and tries to spread my name in the dirt on Twitter, I'm going to say is, good luck. Because I'm a tough egg to crack.
This is very true.
So, if you guys really want to try to mess with me, more power to you. However, to all the level-headed RWBY fans, I will always appreciate your guys' comments, fan art, etc.
I've seen some amazing fan art on Twitter.
To the toxic fans, GTFO out of this fandom. Seriously.
Yeah.
Learn to accept people's opinions. Stop pointing fingers at one another. That's how we can change the RWBY fan base for good. And also, respect the fact that not everyone ships Bumblebee, and they don't ship Black Sun, or they don't ship Lucky Charms, which press F in the chat for the ship that sunk.
The ship that never happened.
You know, some people may think that I'm toxic for saying that, but it's like, that's just the type of guy I am. Instead of, I like poking fun at things.
Yeah, he doesn't mean no harm
Yeah,
in doing
exactly.
So he just likes poking fun.
So, anyways, if I can talk, what the hell? With that said, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will post Mizuki's channel link in the description and at the end of the video. She's Let's Playing Sonic Adventure 2 as Ruby. She's Let's Playing Corpse Party right now. She's also doing Dokkan content, which hopefully she does more of that.
I do plan on doing more of that.
So yeah, with that said, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Later.